hop in. So I'll just introduce myself. My name's Dia, and Dia Fuller, and I obviously you guys both know me, but for anyone that joins later or watches the recording later,
right now there's just three of us, and I guess you can't see. Yeah, people can watch it later, so I guess I shouldn't. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. I'm not used to this. I haven't done these very much.
So I am a mama of 3 spunky redheads, and those that are on know my children, and they are fun and crazy. And I am also a wellness advocate with doTERRA, and I'm also a holistic health coach. And I have a passion for health, holistic health, and wellness. And I want to start by just, I know that you guys all have many things that you could be doing tonight, or when if choose to watch this video. I just want to say thank you for showing up and taking the time to be here. And I know you have a million things that you could be doing, and you're here. And so take a moment to kind of think about that. What is your intention with being here? What is it that you want to get out of it? For some reason, you are here. And my intention is that, is that you walk away more committed to yourself, more committed to your health, because we can all get derailed in our goals and our things that we want to accomplish for ourselves. And I think the important thing is that we continue to get up, we continue to move forward, and we continue to strive to, kind of go after the things that we want for ourselves and for our health. Because truly, without our health, and when I say health, I don't just mean, obviously your physical health, that's a huge factor, because if you don't have that, you really don't have a whole lot else. But when you're looking at holistic health, we're looking at the whole person, and we're looking at your satisfaction with your career, your happiness in your relationships, your your creativity, your so obviously what you eat, all of that is foundational to your health, but there's so much more. So just want to acknowledge you guys for being here and taking the time to hopefully find something for yourself, remind yourself what it is that you want to do for yourself. And that's kind of my intention for tonight. But the topic obviously is detoxing after the holidays. I think, I don't know about you all, but I did indulge a little bit more than I was planning on indulging over the holidays. And my weakness is sugar. I'm still picky about my sugar, but still it's a weakness that can easily get out of control. And I myself am feeling that need to kind of reboot, detox, and kind of get myself back on track to what's important to me and what makes me feel really good and have the energy that I want. So I know who here's done a cleanse before? I know, Elisa, you've done a cleanse, haven't you?
Not fully, no, not all the way through.
Okay. They've started but not finished.
Started but not, yeah.
And do you know what kind of cleanse that was that you did?
It was with the doTERRA.
Oh, it was the doTERRA. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, I've never really done I don't know, so.
And Sean, are you there? She's probably muted. If you want to chime in, you're welcome to. But I know that you're getting actually.
Okay. Yeah. No, I've never actually done the whole.
A whole cleanse before.
No, never have.
Okay. Awesome.
I've bought the stuff and I've but
Me
I never
too.
actually started it.
Okay.
So
Well, this I would say here, and I think you're here for, you know, a reason. And and I think we're, you know, we're going to talk about why detoxing is important, and a little bit about how the body works, and why detoxing is so important to our health. And I'd like to just kind of share a little bit of an analogy with, and let me actually share my, I'm going to share my screen here really quick. The pretty PowerPoint that the lovely Tay helped me with. Okay, so can you guys see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Detoxing after the host. Okay.
Yes.
So, all right. So I want to start with an analogy, and our bodies kind of being like this master, awesome, amazing computer, right? That's like the most amazing computer in the whole world. Now, and I have my actual computer too, my MacBook, that I've had for about 5 years, and I've done some different things with it, stuff, working, and I've had to get some service, have them kind of clean it out, right? So that it'll start working again. Well, it's been giving me all the, I guess, I don't know, we want to say simple, an analogy kind of to us, right? That basically that it was having some problems, it was not just, and it's been going on for a few months, and I've been ignoring it. And it's like, okay, I will get that. I will get my computer. Oh, I know I need to. Well, I got to the point where it was like my computer was so full, like I had no memory on my computer, to the point where I really couldn't use it, because, and I actually even tried to use it to pull up the PowerPoint on my computer, and I wouldn't even load the emails that I had because it's got some problems. Basically, I've waited too long. And now my computer has issues that, I'm going to need some help with. And so when you think about that, what is your body telling you that by talking and telling you by the various kind of things that are going on in your body that cleanse or doing a detox would be really helpful. Unfortunately, as humans, we are not willing to really do something different until it's like yelling at us in the, like screaming, or you're suffering. And that's an unfortunate thing, but that's usually the case. We're usually not willing to make a change until it just gets bad enough, until we can't ignore it any longer. And so, as you're thinking about, and taking an inventory of where you are right now today, no judgment, because we can all be harsh on ourselves. I know better probably than anybody. I can be really good at that. And I don't want to be, and, but, but without judgment, just taking an inventory of where you are today, thinking about, what is your body telling you? What information is your body saying, that maybe is not functioning as well? And as you, think about, oh, sorry, just a second here. That's the baby monitor. Hang on. Okay. Sorry about that. But as you think about just kind of taking an inventory, and as we think, there's a lot that, if there's things that are happening in your body, and kind of, as far as why you would want to detox, and what things, and if you're in need of a detox, if you're having dark circles under your eyes, you're having headaches, migraines, just kind of dull skin, maybe you're having rashes or eczema breakouts, your hair is dull, maybe you're having joint or muscle aches and pains, maybe sinus issues, just kind of a bad taste in your mouth or a bitter taste in your mouth. Maybe you are sweating a lot, you're under a lot of stress. Maybe you have an irritable bowel syndrome, maybe gas or bloating. Maybe you're just feeling tired all the time, difficulty maintaining concentration and your focus. Maybe you're having problems sleeping. Maybe you're suffering from mood swings, anxiety, depression. These are all things we don't think about. Being connected just to having our bodies being really toxic. And so these are all things that I'd say that if you have answered or in your mind, have probably about 4 more of those things that you're like, okay, I have some of those things going on. Chances are a cleanse could really benefit you. And, our digestive system, are really designed to provide us with, nutrients to basically help our bodies work properly. And, our stomach and intestines are the primary organs that help us absorb these nutrients. And we have to eat the right foods in order for the right chemicals and everything to take place. It's kind of like to have the symphony play correctly, or like kind of like a domino effect. And it can be a domino effect for good, or it can be a domino effect for not so good when our body doesn't have the nourishment and the nutrients that it needs to function properly. It can kind of be, a domino effect in the opposite way. Or it could be a domino effect in a good way, because then it's starting that process of having things, working properly. And I like kind of the analogy when you're looking at, nutrition, or what are you fueling your body with? And is that fuel is that the best kind of fuel for your vehicle? And if you're not getting the right kind of fuel, then your car's not going to work. You have to put gas in it. It can't be like, I don't know, something that's not gas, it won't work properly. So yeah, that was my little analogy for that. But so getting back to kind of how our bodies work, when we break down food, when we have with our digestive enzymes, our body naturally produces enzymes. We have enzymes in our food, but a lot of times we don't have enough because we're not eating enough live foods and getting the enzymes that we need. So a lot of people, the digestive system isn't working properly. But normally those digestive enzymes and that friendly bacteria in the gut helps us break down our food. And when we have a diet that's poor, we're stressed, we've taken antibiotics, or we just have an excess amount of toxins in our body, then that digestive system cannot work and function the way that it should. And that can also cause issues with, having partially digested food in our system, and that can cause problems, like irritable bowel, constipation, nausea, bloating. But then that undigested food can cause greater issues, leak into the bloodstream, and cause a whole host of other issues. And so obviously when we're doing a cleanse, that is going to help get that digestion, and those, all those processes that need to take place, and they kind of happen in a certain order to function better. And also, when looking at the function of the liver, which, anything that really comes into the body enters and passes through the liver. And so obviously it's got a really important job, and in many cases the liver is extremely overtaxed and overworked. And one of its main functions is to remove toxins from the bloodstream. And so you can imagine that if the liver's not able to function, then we're in trouble, right? And so the harmful substances that, they should be neutralized there in the liver and then passed on into the intestines and into bile. But the liver is also responsible for supplying energy to the body and also converting energy from our food into nutrients that we use, that our cells use. And so if that's not functioning properly, if our liver's not functioning properly, then what happens is that it actually stores toxins, and those get deposited into our fat cells. And that can cause really serious problems for people, things like diabetes and cirrhosis. And so it's really important to have your liver functioning properly. And obviously to have, to help support your liver, eating a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, not eating a lot of processed, chemically laden, foods, and avoiding, processed, sugary, foods, and obviously a diet high in alcohol or caffeine can also put a tax on your liver. And if you have a sluggish liver, having things like, supplementing your diet with lots of antioxidants, and we'll talk about some of the things, and a lot of essential oils are really high in antioxidants, so it helps support that. And we'll talk about specific ones that do. But just, vitamin C and vitamin E, selenium and beta carotene, those are all things that can help support a healthy liver. And then one of the other main organs that we have that can also get kind of taxed there too, which is the kidneys. And the kidneys' job is to basically filter toxins in the blood, and that gets eliminated in our urine. And so obviously when you're detoxing and you're all of that, sometimes, it can cause your urine to smell. So don't be worried. It is a pretty normal thing, but definitely making sure that you're getting enough fluids and drinking a lot of, over what you normally do, and really putting your attention on it is really important. And we'll kind of get into the nuts and bolts of that later. But also they help to regulate the amount of fluid in your body and help to recycle nutrients. So the kidneys play a crucial role, but they do need they need fresh water to function properly. And so if you're not drinking enough water, and adding some essential oils to your water is a great way on a daily basis that you can naturally just detoxify your body, and it's really, really great. Okay, so we're just going to talk about a couple other systems, and then we'll move on. But I think it's important just to understand the function of how each of these organs work and the job that they play in your body, and how important that is to how you feel, and your energy level, and even your, affecting your mood, and just mental health and well-being as well. So we have the skin, which is the body's largest organ, and that, we eliminate waste through our pores. And, obviously when we sweat and we remove toxins, so when you, go and, do a sauna or, things like that, that's really helpful. And that's why you have to drink a lot of water. But when we're unhealthy, our skin generally can have a lot of blemishes, rashes, kind of a dull complexion. And obviously important to that is getting sleep, exercise, moving those, toxins, and getting them through and getting them out of the body. But also, food is really important there as well. And then we have our lymphatic system, which I like to think of the lymphatic system as basically as kind of like your pipes. And this is the system in your body that carries waste, toxins, dead cells, and excessive fluid to the lymph nodes where the waste is filtered before being passed into the bloodstream. And if there's a lot of toxins present in the body, then the lymphatic system, that can't function and can't work properly. And that can show up in the form of poor circulation, cellulite, and a overall weakened immune system. So if you suffer from that, there could be, some issues with your lymphatic system. It's just not functioning at its optimal state. And then lastly, the body system we're going to talk about, which is the lungs. And our lungs obviously are pretty crucial, right? Because without our breath, like, we're not alive. So and that's pretty important. And obviously we deal with a lot of airborne pollutants, and we breathe in oxygen, enters our bloodstream, and we breathe that into our lung, and then we have waste, carbon dioxide is removed from them. And if we suffer from runny noses, sinus issues, usually there's a sign that there's something wrong with the respiratory system, or that it's not functioning at its optimalness. We couldn't be inhaling enough oxygen or expelling all the wasted gases. So I think that's also where, just remembering to on your breath and actually breathing deeply and having, some form of way to kind of focus on that and bring intention to our breath. And I think essential oils are actually really great for that, because you can take a moment in your day to just breathe in an oil, which is going to help you, or open up your airways, help you to breathe deeper, actually focus on your breath, and actually even, calm yourself down by your breath and by using the oils. And obviously there's a proper way to breathing. Most of us guilty of it are shallow breathers, and sometimes I have to really breathe in and just know that I'm actually doing that. So all right. And the other thing that I wanted to mention, and maybe we'll kind of switch the slides here. I'm trying to remember. So obviously we said welcome. We kind of went through that. Okay, I'll talk about some of this stuff here, because that's kind of shifting gears. But so a couple other things I just wanted to mention, as as you're thinking about detoxing and thinking about how important that is to our overall health and how we're feeling, and taking that kind of snapshot of where you are right now, and knowing that on the other side of that, is vital health and feeling better. That is possible for each of us. And sometimes, but it does take work, it does take commitment, and but also as you're kind of cleansing and detoxifying your organs in your body, but also looking at what other things in our life are not serving us, and what other things do we need to detox from. Now that can be obviously what you're fueling your body with. That could be if you're consuming too much caffeine. That could be if you are not drinking enough water. That, hi, honey. Yes, do you have this iPad? Okay. That could be, I lost my train of thought there. But it can also be just, habits that we have. It could be that we're not getting enough sleep, or we're on social media too much. It could be, there's many different aspects, or it could be just limiting beliefs that you have, that you are allowing to kind of, I don't know what the right way to say this is, but, you have thoughts that aren't serving you. And so I think it's a good time to kind of reflect and look at the things that really are serving you in your life, and take an inventory of that, take a snapshot of where you are today, and think about where it is that you want to see yourself, you know, and see yourself in that vibrant health that you really want to have, and seeing the things that are going to help you get there, and you know, and taking those steps towards creating that for yourself. And you know, and obviously having the awareness, because if we aren't aware of what's not serving us, then we can't do anything different. So awareness is key in any habit or any anything that you want to change or that you want to do differently in your life. So all right, so that's that. So I want to talk a little bit about how like doTERRA can help you get started with doing a cleanse. And then I also want to talk about some of the things that are going on right now. So right now, for any of you that know someone who has, you know, is already a member with doTERRA, but they haven't placed an order in the last 4 to 12 months. So that would be since August 31st of 2018. doTERRA has a really awesome welcome back promotion. And so if they place a standard order of 100 PV, they would get a free breathe oil. And if they place a loyalty order of 100 PV, they actually get a breathe and an on guard. That's like $53 value. That's wholesale, obviously. But a great opportunity if you know someone who maybe you've introduced to doTERRA. I know I'm going to be working on this and reaching out to people, just know that if they're in need of stuff and they're ready to place an order, they have some freebies. So it's a great opportunity. And then also right now too, doTERRA has extended the frankincense promotion, which is for anyone who places a single 200 PV order from January 1st up until January 15th, which I believe is on Monday, I think, which is when the cleanse, we're doing a cleanse as a group, so I'll talk about that. That actually starts on Monday. No, it's Tuesday, which is kind of funny. It starts on a Tuesday, but yeah, but it's really an awesome promotion. So and anyone who you know who is, I guess, eligible for this welcome back to doTERRA could also be eligible to get this, you know, frankincense promotion. And if they're going to place a loyalty order and it's 125 PV before the 15th, they would get the breathe, the on guard. This month the free product is a grapefruit oil, and they would also get the frankincense if it's a 200 PV order. So if you have questions on that, we can talk about it at the end, or you can reach out to the person who invited you. If you don't know what I'm talking about at all, you don't have a wholesale account, you can certainly reach out to the person who invited you and they can tell you more about it. So I found this quote today and I thought it was just appropriate for, you know, I think just being really intentional and committed to yourself and realizing that it's not selfish to love yourself, to take care of yourself, and to make your happiness a priority. And I think that's really important. It's necessary. It's necessary for you to be able to thrive in the world, and to do the things that you want to do in this life, by taking care of yourself, being committed to yourself, and making the changes. Good. One of them, which is, remember why you started. And I'd say this is something that as you're going through the, you know, if you're gonna make a commitment to yourself, and I think this is something I've been working on myself. And remember why you're doing what you're doing. Remember why you commit to yourself. Why is this important to you? Why does it matter? You know, and come back to that. come back to that why. Is that because, you know, you want, because it, you know, I mean, it's because it's necessary. It's necessary to, for us to, you know, because we don't want to live not feeling great, you know, when you can feel. So, and then I something that I love is you were always one decision away from a totally different life. One decision away from a totally different, and realizing that each of those choices that we make and those decisions that we make can help pull us closer to where we want. And so okay, that's kind of just me going off there. Okay. So all right, so now we're going to talk about I think we kind of covered a lot about the detox. Did anyone have any questions so far just about generally about detoxing, any concerns you have about it? Any questions so far? Okay.
I'm on. My biggest concern is that I'm going to be on the cleanse, and I'm going to be working, and I'm going to have an accident. That's really what scares me. You know,
Sure.
I'm not going to make it because I teach, and you can't leave class and, you know, run to the bathroom while you're with students. You just don't have that freedom. So
yeah.
I'm nervous about that part of it. And
Sure.
that's one of the reasons I've always never made it.
Sure.
Because I take all the other products, but the two that it really add to the cleanse, I stop at because I get scared that I'm going to have an accident at work.
Yeah.
Does it happen? I mean, do you have to? Does it cleanse crazy? I mean, that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah. No, it's a valid concern, and so I've done a few different types of cleanses, and I've had one that really where there was a lot of cramping, a lot of, you know, a lot of really like discomfort and having to like really be close to a bathroom. And you know, I find the doTERRA cleanse to be very gentle. Now everybody's different and everybody's system is in a different state, you know, and so just be conscious of that. And if you need to off from what's the recommended dose, and even if you just know, then you do less, you know. And what I found is that there's been times when I've done the cleanse and I was definitely more toxic and I had a lot of more symptoms. And the more over the years, as I've really cleaned up my diet and I've made a lot of just lifestyle changes, but again, it just depends, right? It just depends on where you're at, if you are. But just being aware of that, I mean, I think, and that really kind of that's when you get to the digestive cleansing, can be intense for some people. And so in that case, it may take you longer, you know, you may just do less, you know, to make it at a level that you can function at. If it's intense, then, you know, then you back off a little bit. And maybe you do, on the digestive cleansing, you only do, I think it's recommended that you like take like 3 a day. You may do 2, you may have to do 1, you may have to do 1 every other day, just depending upon.
So I may have to start with smaller and see what happens, and then see if I can take a little more, you know.
Yeah, I would do that. If you're that, then you can increase it, because obviously, I mean, it needs to be functional. You need to be able to function in the real world, you know. And but I would say with this too is that with any cleansing and detoxifying, you know, there can be some amount of uncomfortable, you know, symptoms that you experience, but you know, in some level, being able to push through that to get on the side, because sometimes it gets worse before it gets better, and just, you know, having that awareness. But also, if you need to back off because you can't function, then that's, you know, then you have to do what you have to do, you know. but I think there's some things you can, do to kind of help yourself. And, I find that taking an additional just fiber supplement along with that is helpful because it helps with cleansing out the toxins.
Okay, so I'm doing that now, so that's good. Yeah, that'll help.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. And just continue with that.
Yeah. Okay.
And, and then just see how you just listen to your body. And if you need to back off, and then what you do is then the next time you do it again, then, you might even notice that you can handle a little bit more, and and your symptoms aren't as intense, I mean, that's what I found over doing cleansing over the years. The more you do it, it seems, it's not as intense. But if it's been a long time, or, you've never done a cleanse before, you just kind of have to listen, but also know that there's might be some uncomfortableness. And that's why we have, we have a support group that you can kind of work with. So, did that answer your question?
Yeah, you did. Good. Thank you.
Yeah. So, so we're going to kind of move forward a little bit, but so one of my colleagues and fellow doTERRA wellness advocates, her name is Jade Baldin, and she's awesome. And she has put together this New Year's challenge, which is a 30-day cleanse and restore, which I mentioned is starting on January 15th. And we have a group, which is a Facebook, a phone call. We have a Facebook group. Okay, she needs to stop calling. That's Madeira. Trying to call Cherie. So we have a Facebook group that you can join, and I'll have all in a couple slides here. I'll show you what that is. But yeah, I mean, the basics of it is if you already have the products, great. If there's something that you're missing, you could probably still get it. And even if you don't get it right before the cleanse, you can still just, get started with what you have. And, obviously, if you don't have the products, we'll talk about the best way to get them and how you can get the best deal to get all the products that you'll need to do the cleanse. So I'll kind of move over here. So this is the, that's showing on my screen. This is the Cleanse and Restore Kit. And you can buy this as a package, which wholesale, that is normally $245. That has everything that you need to do the 30-day cleanse, except for one extra Terrazyme, because you'll go through 2 of the Terrazymes, and we'll break down each of these products and talk about them a little bit. But that's everything that you need. And so that total is $282.50. Now, but if you were to purchase these individually, it would be about $417. So you're saving about $135 when you purchase it, below the wholesale price when you purchase it all together as a kit. So it's definitely the way to go. And, again, if that's something that's out of your budget, reach out to someone that that you're working with. And there is kind of a way that you can kind of, step it down. But this is kind of the full package to do the cleanse, and what I would recommend to start with. And then right here, so we talked a little bit about, these are some of Jade's slides that she has here. And our body eliminates toxins in ways through feces, urine, sweat, or isolates them in our fat cells, right? So if we're not eliminating them, they're getting stored. And so when we detox, our cells release toxins into our bloodstream. And so that's what makes us feel uncomfortable. So drinking lots of water, it's okay, keep going. And knowing that there may be some, a little bit of uncomfort as we detox and release that from our body. And then to assist the body to eliminate the bowels and bladder by relaxing the digestive system, she has a suggestion, which is to apply sandalwood and balance, inhale and apply sandalwood and balance oil. So those are some good tips. And in addition to that, I found that adding an additional fiber supplement is also really helpful. And let's see here. So this is the products that are in the 30-day cleanse. So you have the supplements, which is your lifelong vitality pack. This is what, honestly, as you're taking these supplements, you're kind of helping to cleanse your body. This is something I take every day, not just during the cleanse, but this is where you're getting your it's a whole foods based supplement where you're getting everything that your body needs, but you're also cleansing nutritionally. And even when you're eating a healthy diet, more, whole foods based, then you are naturally cleansing and detoxifying your body when you're eating real food. But also feeding your cells. And so this lifelong vitality pack has antioxidants, helps to support our cells on the, and our DNA, helps with energy, supports cardiovascular, brain, nervous system, and as well as our immunity. And it's a phenomenal deal when you purchase them all together. And then there's the Terrazyme, which is the enzymes, and it helps us to break down our food, protein, sugar, starch, fats, lactose, fructose, glucose, and gluten. This is something that not only just while you're doing the cleanse, this is a product that I take every day, and I suggest for people who have digestive issues to use enzymes because we're generally lacking in that. And even if you take enzymes on an empty stomach, if you take them with food, that's going to obviously help you break down your food. But when you take them on an empty stomach, it actually helps to rebuild the connective tissue in your body. So they're just really beneficial for you, regardless of when you're taking them. But definitely take them because it will help you in getting the nutrients out of your food and helping you absorb the nutrients. The Zendocrine, which is that is a soft gel, and that is an oil-based cleanse. So this is kind of where we're getting back and talking about our major organs. This helps to naturally support and detox our liver, which is crucial to our health, our kidneys, which we know, these are all things that are very important, our bladder, our lungs, and our skin. And it's got rosemary, juniper berry, cilantro, geranium, and tangerine oil. And then we have the GX Assist, which is, this is the portion of the cleanse. This is kind of like the heavy duty scrubbing. This is like you're getting down and really, cleaning your bathroom. This is where you cleanse the gut, cleanse the gut bacteria and any fungi or even unfriendly bacteria. And that's, it's a cleansing formula. It's got some really powerful and potent oils. This is the point where, like what Sean was talking about with having it be too intense. And this is the point because it has some very cleansing oils. This is where you kind of have to listen to your own intuition on how much you take. There is a recommended dose. You can start there. And if that's too much, you can kind of taper off and back off. Or if you already know, then you just kind of, you start where your intuition guides you. But definitely a crucial part of the cleanse. If you don't do this part, you're really missing out on the full benefit of the cleanse, because this is what's going to help. We are more bacteria than we are human cells. I don't know the actual figure, but it's crazy. And when there's an imbalance of good bacteria and bad bacteria in our body, it can cause a whole host of issues, as well as with the different types of fungus and all of that, like or candida, things like that. Can cause some major problems with your body. And then you have the PB Assist, which this is works to reestablish the gut flora. And doTERRA's PB Assist is actually double encapsulated, which means that it survives and actually through the stomach acid and releases into small intestines, which is where you want it to go. And most probiotics don't actually survive and get to that area, but they've come up with the technology to double encapsulate that. And so they're actual live probiotics, which we know with lots of science help with improve our immune systems, our digestion. I mean, it literally helps every aspect of your life, and it's very, very crucial to have a healthy gut flora balance. Then you also have the DDR Prime, and this is a blend of essential oils that help support a healthy response. So if there's been any issues with disruption with your DNA, this particular and these particular oils help to support that DNA to function the way that it should, because without that, you know, you could run into some health issues. Then you have the lemon oil, which is naturally very cleansing and detoxifying, and can help cleanse toxins from the body, old mucus, petrochemicals, and this is greatly helpful for your immunity, helping you to focus, clarity, energy. It's just a great overall oil. And this is one that if you're going to ingest lemon, I mean, obviously you can put it directly in your mouth, but you can put it into a glass of water or like a stainless steel. Just don't put it into plastic because it does break. But lemon is a great way, and that's something you can do every day forever. Help in that area. So here's the breakdown in just a physical way. Excuse me. So here you have the cleanse of 30 days. And on day 1, you start taking your supplements, and you'll take 2 capsules of each with breakfast, dinner, or breakfast, lunch, however you want to do it, for the whole time of the. And this is where you're the nutritional point where you're getting everything from A to Z. There's a cellular complex that's included in that. Function at that cellular level, which we know if your cells are not functioning, that's the root cause of disease is when and this helps our cells to remember what their function is and to work properly, and so our cells can do our job and help keep us healthy. And the Terrazyme, which we talked about, that's the enzymes that helps you to break down your foods, helps with absorption, also helps rebuild connective tissue. This you take the entire time of the cleanse. And what I usually do is I have doTERRA actually now has that you can get. They just came up with them. It's a little bit more than the Lifelong Vitality, but they now have, instead of just the bottles, they have them all broken down in little packets that you can get. And so if that is a challenge for you, is actually getting around to like dividing them up and taking them with you, they come in little plastic packs of exactly each dosage that you need of all of those supplements. So I always I have little containers, I break them up, and then I have them, I put them in another little container that I take and I'll take with me on the go. And I'll, that way I can get my supplements in. And then there's the Zendocrine, which this is also something you take for the whole 30 days. And you take 1 capsule with breakfast, 1 with dinner. This is the organ cleanse. This is what's going to cleanse your liver, your skin, your lungs. I think I'm missing one. I can't think of the other one, but that's the Zendocrine. Oh, I'm sorry. So the Zendocrine complex, which now, so there's 2. So there's the soft gels, and there's the Zendocrine complex, which is it's an herbal blend of that helps with detoxification. I don't know, double check, but I think if you purchase the kit, you can get it. I don't know, they were on back order. I don't know if that's the case still. I'll have to check, but you can contact doTERRA or, but the Zendocrine soft gel, I know you can get for sure. And that's one that you're in the initial phase. And during the first, the activate phase, which is the first 10 days. And then the second 10 days is where you're going to do your GX assist. So you start that on day 11, take one with meal. So that can kind of work on your digestive system as you sleep. And then day 21 through 30 is the renewal point where you're going to be, replenishing your good bacteria. Sorry here. And you take one soft gel with breakfast and dinner, and then, PBS, you take three with your evening meal. And then you have your soft gels, that is your DNA, your helps to have your DNA work properly. Sorry, not your DNA, but helps you on that level. And that you take one soft gel with breakfast and one at dinner, and then you have your lemon oil that you take through. You can also help with some grapefruit like that too, because that's also very cleansing and detoxifying as well. Okay, so here it is, just kind of in another format here, and this is something that you can kind of has little check boxes, and this is something you can actually, I believe, print on doTERRA.com. But that way you can kind of keep track of like, okay, what did I do today? Did I actually take everything? Just a way to kind of keep track of it for yourself. Also, if you join the Facebook group, which I'll have the group listed here, then Jade is going to have some additional daily tips and recipes and all of that just to support you throughout the cleanse. And of course, if you have questions, you can reach out to the person who invited you, or reach out to the group. There'll be a lot of people happy to help. So what's next? So you repeat the 30-day cleanse every 4 months until things are better. And this is something you can do, kind of as often as you give yourself a break, but then continue to keep cleansing your body until you're feeling a lot better, and having better sleep, healthier hair and nails, all of those things, having better energy. And you can continue with a lot of those things like the life functionality, the enzyme. I take probiotics every day. And the Zendocrine, I know also for those that struggle with urinary issues, kidney issues, the Zendocrine is actually really fabulous to help support you in that. And then looking at just ways that you can reduce your sugars, your wheat, dairy, soy, and other inflammatory substances. And that's something as you're preparing for your cleanse, or thinking about it, or even just wanting to just, try something out and eliminate something. Maybe it's caffeine, whatever it is that you want to do, looking at kind of reducing that and, maybe even just eliminating it completely for the cleanse, and see how you feel. So, this is just kind of a little review of what's happening on the body. Your body is cleansing out toxins from drugs, fungus, bacteria, petrochemicals, parasites, and other debris from your cells. And, excuse me. Here, get a drink. But obviously we know toxins, are kind of at the root cause of inflammatory diseases and other issues. And cellular miscommunication, what she states here, is what causes disease. And toxins and invaders disrupt cellular function and damage and mutate cells, causing disease. When we have clean cells, we have healthy tissues. Healthy tissues means healthy organs. Healthy organs mean a healthier you. So when we get down to that cellular level of cleansing our body, and our cells are functioning properly. I mean, it's like, again, it's that domino effect. It's either for good or it's, you know, on the other side of that. So let's see here. I'm not sure what happened with my screen, but it's, oh, I have like my 2-year-old's like a bird or something. Okay. Okay. And then the other thing I was going to just mention too is there is a way to adjust this cleanse for kids. And this is actually what I'm looking at doing with my kids, because I feel like they kind of could use a reset from all the indulgence as well, and stuff like that. But this is basically for the kids. There we have a line of supplements for them. We have the A to Z, which is a whole foods based supplement with your vitamins and minerals. You've got the omega oil, and then you have the Zendocrine oil that you can dilute and put on their feet, as well as I believe that's the Zendocrine complex. And then you also have the Digestion, which can just help with the digestive cleansing aspect of it. And then you have the Terrazyme, which you can break those capsules open. You can put it into food. You can mix it with some a drink or coconut oil. And then you have your probiotics, which they're actually really yummy. They kind of taste I don't know, they taste like sugar, but there's no sugar in them. And I will actually, sometimes my kids think, you know, they like to put them into water and mix it up and then drink it, but you can just take it straight. It's kind of like like Smarties a little bit. It's also double encapsulated so that good bacteria can get into the small intestines, which is where you want it. And then also you can use the DDR Prime and also put that on the bottoms of their feet for that healthy DNA. And then as well as doing lemon, and you could also apply the balance oil just for, you know, just daily grounding, and that's a wonderful oil. So, you know, and looking at this, when you're looking at dilution, she's got some recommendations and things there for that. So, okay, so this is just another, if you're a visual person, this just breaks it down to a very visual thing, just so you can see how many pills am I actually taking a day. And this just kind of breaks it down into that. Now, again, there's this Zendocrine bottle, that's the white one. That's the one I'm not sure if it was been on back order. So that's the one that you may not be taking unless you purchase the kit. I'm not sure if you can buy it individually right now. But this basically morning and night, what you're going to take. And that's for the first 10 days. Then the next 10 days is basically what you're going to be taking as well. And then the final step of the cleanse, this is kind of the last bit that you'll be doing. And yeah, I think that's a nice little visual that we have there. So now we mentioned kind of the support, and I think that anytime you're wanting to make some changes and actually follow through, right? Because sometimes that's the hardest thing, is actually following through with what we say we're going to do or want to do. And I think having that accountability and somebody to be accountable to, being accountable to your own word, it's helpful to share that with other people, of what it is that you want to create for yourself, so someone can say, hey, what's going on? You know, and help you through that. So this is the Facebook group that you can add, and this is also on Creating a Healer in Every Home, also on my page for the Love of Oils. So if you want to you can find the post, and it's got the Facebook group that you can just click and join. And if you have questions, let us know. We're really excited to help. So the question is who's in? Are you in? Are you ready to commit to yourself and make some changes and feel better and have more vibrant health. So think about what we talked about in the beginning, you know, why you're here, why did you show up tonight to listen to this class, and what is it that you want to create for yourself and for your health, and are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to do what it takes to have what you want on the other side, which is, you know, having more vibrant health? And that doesn't come without nothing. Unfortunately, it does take some work, and it does take some commitment. But I do believe that if we put in the work and we put in the commitment, that on the other side of that, we can really feel just amazing and so much better. And then we realize that's what I want, that's where I want to be, and we strive towards, you know, having that. So hopefully you're in. And we'll kind of end with this, I think, yeah, towards the end here, but because I'm about 5 minutes over. So so this quote here is, "It all begins with you. If you do not care for yourself, you will not be strong enough to take care of anything in life." So I think it does come back to us, and it does come back to us really caring for ourselves and having a, you know, putting ourselves high enough on the priority list to, you know, really make ourselves a priority, because we follow through on all our commitments to other people. Or if we say we're going to be somewhere, at least hopefully you do, right? We you know, if we have a job, we show up, we go to work. If we tell someone we're going to, you know, be there, we're going to have a play date, then we show up. Or, you know, we tell someone we're going to, you know, do something, you know, we're usually follow through because we don't want to let other people down. And you think about how many times we make commitments to ourselves, and how many times do we let ourselves down because we do not make ourselves a priority, and we do not follow through with, you know, what we say that we want. So this is what I would challenge you, is to, you know, make yourself a priority, and know that it matters, and that you matter. So thank you.
Thank you, Dia.
Yeah, I hope that, let's see if I was going to say anything else, but hope that you join us. And
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
all right.
Okay, love you. Good to hear from.
Yeah, Elisa, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm there. Here, yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Elisa. Love you.
Love you too.
Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, I know I've been kind of.
Well, awesome.
Are we done? Okay. Are we still?
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna, because I have some of the products I'm probably gonna use, because what I have, and kind of just
Yeah,
do
I
what
have
I
some
can.
of them too, so I'm gonna order the others. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I kind of started this weight loss challenge. So today was day one. I did pretty good today. So there was no
awesome.
junk food. So I have a real sugar problem, you know. So
And I get it.
I did
I
pretty
think that
good.
cleansing will really help me to help both of us, because that's what I have a real sugar problem too. And I
Yeah.
think that making this and going through with it, even if I don't feel good, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Because if I don't get through the process, I'll never, I'll never get there. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to make some big changes, because I've just been in a vicious
and I may, yeah,
cycle for the past several years. So
me too. And I may have to do more than one cleanse, but I'm willing to start now. So,
yeah,
yeah.
it's a start. So
Well, hey, you
yeah.
gotta start. And I do. I mean, every time that I've done a cleanse, you know, because and especially with, you know, really making changes to what I'm eating as well. I mean, but as you kind of detox, and you get away from the foods that aren't serving you, and you're actually, you know, don't crave the same things, you know, and you want, is like you want healthier foods. Your body wants that, you know, versus when you're when you're toxic and you know, you got this, and it's just like, you just kind of just start, you have a lot of cravings, you want all this different stuff. And as you clear
Chocolate,
that out,
salt.
it becomes to want to do that, because you just, you feel better, and clearer and lighter, and you know, and that's, you're just like, you get like, I want that, I want to feel that way, you know, like that's, I have energy, I feel, you know, you could even, weight loss is definitely a side effect of cleansing, you know. And sometimes it takes doing many cleanses, you know, and redoing it every few months. I mean, that's why, I mean, I just did one in October, and I felt so good. And we actually made it through, you know, Halloween and all of that. Like, it was pretty, like, you know, no one got really crazy on sugar or anything, because I was, you know, I was kind of at the helm, and I wasn't doing any of that. I wasn't eating any added sugar. And then, but then Christmas happened. And somebody it was at Sylvia's house, my aunt's house, and you know, she had seized candy, and she just left them out, like, just to be like, hey, like, everybody just help yourself. And I never buy that, I never go and, you know, but it was there, and I
It's
just was like,
good.
oh, it's, you know, I'll have candy, I'll splurge. But then it was like the next day and the next day, you know, I just was like, oh, I wanted more of that, you know. And it kind of, that whole sugar thing
Hey, I'm
again.
gonna go. I love you guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Love you.
But yeah, anyhow, well, thanks for joining, and go ahead, and I'll stop sharing 1 second here.
Okay, all right.
Okay. When I stop the